Alright guys, what's going on? It's JR. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon and good week overall. So we're gonna go over a trade. It was the euro against the Australian dollar. We'll just review it real quick. So let's pull up the broker statement. Again, stuff is blocked for privacy concerns. So we had two trades here, and I'll explain why we took the GBP AUD also, but that was pretty much just an extra 30 pips added to the profit of this trade. But our main focus was that Euro AUD, because these two pairs, they correlate a bit, both being European based pairs and both having the Australian dollar on the end. They correlate a bit, so that's what we took the second trade based off of. It just gave us another 30 pips, and this trade here yielded us about 120 pip gain. So again, you can see we long the market 11:15 morning, I guess. That's their time, at least. This was like 1 in the morning at my time. So like I said, you can review, you can see this is 120 pips, this is 30 pips, you can see when and the times and whatnot. But again, this is just to show you live account. This is to show you that we are taking the trades we're sitting here showing you guys. So what we had was one of our harmonic patterns show up. It was a bullish crab pattern. This actually appeared to me on our scanner on the 30-minute chart, but you can see it a little bit better from a hour chart. So boom, we have our pattern. Now this doesn't automatically mean, okay, boom, we're gonna go long. Even though if we did, obviously this pattern pretty much picked the bottom of this area, and if we would have traded strictly off harmonic patterns, we would have been good. But again, that's not how we trade. We see the pattern, so we begin to analyze what's going on. We start to see what part of the cycle we're in, what supply and demand is doing, what the volume is doing, and then from there we go ahead and we move forward. So like I said, we have the bullish crab pattern, and as you can see, we'll draw a fib in again because the fibs are pretty much what these patterns are based off of. We'll go from the X to the A leg. From the X to the A leg, as you can see, our D point came in exactly at that 1618 fib level. So now that we have this trade, now that we're looking at it, again, I'm not going to get too into detail of how we trade, how we look at it, how we analyze it, but I'll mention a couple details. Again, if you want to learn how to do what we're doing on your own, independently, slciml.tk. That's simple. Anyway, so we had that bullish crab form. We began to analyze what was going on, and we determined what part of the cycle we were in. We determined that we were heading into a bit of an accumulation area, so we can start looking for reversals. And there's no volume on this trader's view chart, but if you started looking at the volume and how they correlate to the specific candlesticks in this time zone, in this time area, we would have been able to pick our entry. So if you look again back on that screenshot, we got in at 1500 pretty much. So if you look at 1500, well, let's look even deeper. 1585. We got in right about here, almost at the bottom of that market for that day. We pretty much got all the pips that were available to us that day. We got in at the 1585. Which, just to make a visual, I'll draw a line. Again, I'm not trying to make this video too long, but as you can see, 1585 is right around that. Let's change the color on that. That's ugly. I'll make it a bright yellow for you guys. Well, no, so you can even see that. How about not even that, huh? How about, yeah, blue's fine. So we got in at that line, pretty much the bottom, and we got in because we knew what was going on in this time in this area. And again, the fact that this pattern showed, it doesn't mean that we automatically get into that trade. All that's showing us again is that we can begin to start to analyze the market and understand that we're heading towards a PRZ, because that's what the harmonic patterns, they show us, PRZs, potential reversal zones. So now that we, again, you'll learn how to draw these patterns, but now that we know that this pattern has shown up, the fibs are in place, we can start looking for a potential reversal zone. So now that we looked at our volume, we looked at how price action and our candles were looking, we looked at the supply and demand imbalance from previous levels and from what's going on right now. Actually, if I were to show you my MetaTrader 4 chart, this candle here created a demand level. And now at this point, this area is a fresh demand level. So if I were to draw a, I'm not even going to do it, but if I were to draw a channel here, I can guarantee you the next time we hit that area, we can start to analyze that chart again, and we most likely will be getting into that position for a long. But anyway, so after analyzing our volume, our candles, our supply and demand imbalances, now we can pretty much determine that we're ready to get into a low risk, high probability, high reward trade opportunity in a long position. So now we'll go grab our fibs, go from the C to the D. At this point, we're able to locate our take profit levels. Our take profit levels are usually the 382 or the 618. So we'll draw the 618 here. We'll draw the 382 here. There's so many ways that we use fibs, guys. You'll have to just get into what we're doing to learn. But so we entered here, and again, when we take our trades, I'm gonna delete this pattern now at this point because we really don't even need to see it at this point. But now that we have our entry here based off of our analysis, we know our first take profit should be here, our second should be here. Now let's go back to our broker statement. We took profit at 151,283. So if you look, 151,283 151,283. It's right about in that area, this area here. I'm not even gonna plot the line, but it's in that area. So pretty much what we had here is we picked the bottom of that day and we rode it all the way to the top and took our profit and got out. We took profit here and then we took profit up here. We could have just let our take profit order fill itself and we would have took profit up here and gained another 20 pips. But again, we gained 130 pips on that trade. So I want to show you one of our tools that are in our toolbox. It's FX Pro. They offer this pip value calculator. So if you look, the Euro AUD, and you guys know I don't really share my balances or what I make, at least not yet, at this point. But so we have this calculator pretty much will tell you what each pip is worth when you take a trade. So let's say we took the trade for one standard lot, which in units the trade side would be 100,000 units of USD currency trading the Euro AUD market. So let's calculate it. Let's calculate it. Okay, maybe I gotta refresh. Okay, this is weird. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I'm in a poor area with signal. I'm on hotspot on my phone because I'm on the road. I'm not in a centralized area. Anyway, so $100,000 trade size, $7.12 a pip, just about $7.12 a pip. So with that said, if I would have took this trade with one standard lot, that would have profited $925.60 in a matter of what? Let's say we got in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Typical work shift would have made $925. Anyway, so that's pretty much our review on that trade. We got into the GBP AUD as well because the same kind of stuff, the same kind of structures were forming on that chart. My signal's poor, so I'm not going to show you guys much. I'm not going to show you guys that particular chart. But again, Another profitable trade made by us. Quick, very little drawdown. And again, slciml.tk. This will teach you what you guys need to know to become a independent, profitable trader. It's nice seeing you, talking with you guys again. JR, I'm out.